All right, let's see if I remember how to do this.
I don't know, man. It's been a while. You gotta shake off the cobwebs, right?
Yeah, I gotta get them all off. Especially now that I'm in the basement. Now that I'm in the basement, definitely a chance of cobwebs.
Well, I meant the metaphorical cobwebs.
Yeah.
From you not doing the podcast, and the physical cobwebs that are actually in your basement.
Sometimes
there's no cobwebs in there. It's too fresh. It's too
sometimes
early.
It happens. I'm like Dwight Goodman from Dodgeball. That's me. That's a picture of me taking the bull by the horns. It's a metaphor, but it actually happened.
Wait a second. Good movie. Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Josh.
And this is the PUDs Podcast. So what's going on, man?
What's up, man? Welcome back. Welcome me back.
Yeah, I think I would welcome you back. I've been here the whole time. Well, I'm sitting on a microphone waiting for you to appear on my screen.
I'm welcoming you back into my home.
Okay. Back into the basement.
Yeah, welcome back to the basement. Oh, no.
Welcome to the basement with Josh. Yeah. This is your host, Josh.
Welcome back to the basement. Well, welcome to all the listeners. Welcome back.
Yeah. Yeah, so welcome back, buddy.
Yeah.
Me and Ash did a couple episodes together, which seemed to have gone over well. There'll be another one literally dropping right now. I think it just finished processing like 10 minutes ago.
Awesome.
On our Adirondack trip, so Hopefully people find that pretty useful.
Yeah, I really enjoyed you guys going down the winter hiking gear episode. It helped me get through all the shoveling I had to do from that snowstorm.
You're like, maybe I should try a nice Gore-Tex shell when I'm out here next time.
I think I texted you. I texted you as I was shoveling. I'm like, oh, he brought up Smartwool like 3 times. I'm like, oh, yeah. I just saw this website that has like super cheap like hiking gear. I'm going to send it to him.
Yeah, I was poking through a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't need anything. I never need stuff. I feel like I've gotten at a point where I have a ton of different gear and whatnot, but I was like, I could get a pair of gloves or whatever, but we're in pretty good shape right now. That's good. I just got a coupon from REI Co-op today for our member rebate. Not rebate, that's the wrong word. Whatever, the credit you basically get for being a co-op member and spending money there during the year.
They give you money back, or they give you a coupon?
Yeah, they give you money back to spend basically. So we got like $40. So nice. I'll be perusing there shortly, probably.
Yeah, that reminds me. Yeah. Next time I see you, I have to give you back your tent. I still haven't given you that back since from September or October.
I actually was thinking of that on the way when we drove to your house last week. Was it last week we were there? Yeah, last week. And I totally forgot once we got there. I think it had something to do with her just being a new baby, and it was just I just didn't.
You were excited.
Think about it.
You were excited to see the baby.
Excited.
To see a goddaughter.
I was excited.
Yeah.
She's pretty cute.
She's freaking adorable. She's adorable.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Cool, man.
You want to get into the music moment?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
So Nick's music moment, and we're on episode 30, by the way. This is going to be our 30th episode.
Can I just say...
We're approaching a year.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that before we get into the music moment. We are almost at 1 year. Almost at the 1 year mark. How do you feel after this year?
I feel like I have dry mouth from talking too much.
We talk way too much. Yeah.
No, it's good. It's cool that we've done that many episodes in a year. I mean, I think in our heads, I think when we were initially looking at doing this, we thought that we'd be doing maybe more episodes, but I think we've also had a couple episodes that have been quite long and lengthy at the same time. So I don't know. I'd have to look at how many hours of content, quote unquote content, that we've produced at this point on PUDs, but it's been a decent amount.
Yeah. We're at about 2 a month, I think, average. 2 a month average.
Yeah, and it's cool to see all the downloads, and things are definitely picking up. Yeah. Like I remember that we used to go for stretches where it'd be like a few days where we might not have a couple downloads, and it's pretty rare nowadays. For some reason Germany and like Ireland, I don't know what it is.
They love us.
They do. I don't know if it's just people we know over there indirectly or what, but it's interesting.
We have very like
So shout out to our fans out there.
Yeah, they enjoy our voices. We have very familiar voices to them, I think.
Yeah. So
sorry,
right.
I hijacked your
exciting.
music
No, it's fun. It's exciting. So let's get into Nick's music moment for episode 30. I threw his off too. I mentioned that it was episode 30. I just noticed because I was just putting in episode 29. So without further ado, this is pretty exciting. I'm pretty stoked because I've gotten into this band over the last few years, even though they were super popular during most of the time we were growing up. And they have a new single out and a new album coming out in like a month or so. But the single is Dark Matter by Pearl Jam. And the album is called Dark Matter, so that's going to be dropping in the spring this year. So that's pretty exciting. I'm pretty stoked. The single is just like very raw and just very it's very Pearl Jammy. Yeah. It's bad descriptor. No, you can hear what he's saying for the most part. But it's exciting. It has a nice sort of blazing guitar solo at the end of it. It's like a 3-minute-ish song. So super excited for that album to come out and hoping to snag some tickets with maybe a cousin or some friends and actually get to go see them. I think they're playing 2 nights at Fenway in like August, which is really cool.
Yeah, I gotta check that out. I'm like hit or miss with I know we've talked about it before.
Yeah,
I'm very hit or miss with Pearl Jam.
Hit or miss. I don't know, I think you'll probably like that song.
I'll give it a go.
Yeah. The second song is kind of a bit of a throwback, but it's the song's Only in December by Gypsy and the Cat, and the album is The Late Blue, came out in 2012. So this song has just kind of been on my running playlist lately, this whole album. Just kind of chill vibes. They're almost like sort of a house band, but like with elements of like rock and sort of other psychedelic rock and things going on, at least on this album. Just kind of good stuff. It's got a good beat to it. I like it for running, kind of can sing along to the lyrics in my head because I've listened to the song a bunch and it just kind of keeps me moving. The next song is No More Time by the band Flor, and the album is Come Out You're Hiding, and that came out in 2017. I'm honestly not sure. I'd have to go through my notes if I don't have any songs. Not sure if I had a song, I should say, before by Flor on the music moment. I don't know if I have.
I don't recall.
But,
I do not recall one.
Yeah, they're FLOR Flor, and they're just a good band. I think they're like out of Florida or somewhere on the East Coast. And they have a couple albums. This was sort of their first one that came out. I think I'd heard it, honestly, like in a commercial or something, or one of the songs off it. I forget where I heard it, but good album. Checking out. Pretty straightforward pop rock band. Nothing too crazy going on, but just good music to listen to. The fourth one is a super throwback. And this is After the Gold Rush by Neil Young. And it's off the album After the Gold Rush, made out in 1970.
Nice.
So this is in like the golden era of classic rock sort of deal. This is a super cool song. I think it's one of the prettiest songs that Neil Young probably ever wrote. I actually have a Tom York cover of this in my music library too, which is pretty neat. And not much more to say about it. It's a pretty iconic song. A ton of people have covered it. I think most people know that song.
What can you say that hasn't been said about Neil Young? He's exactly. He's a genius.
He's a musical genius. Exactly. And the last song is called Obstacle 1 by the band Interpol. This came out on an album called Turn on the Bright Lights back in 2002. So Interpol I really got into in high school, college. They're actually an East Coast band outside of New York City. Outside of New York City. They're from New York City. They're kind of the same vibe as like the National and stuff. And I actually know, if you kind of look in a little bit of sort of music history, they were in sort of the same group of bands like the National and a couple others, playing in New York City around the early 2000s. And for some reason, they kind of just caught the train a little bit earlier as far as getting successful. But most people would know now the National are kind of like a pretty big band and bigger than Interpol ever really got, at least in the US, I would say. But really good album. It's probably my favorite album by them, even though it's sort of the first one. Just good stuff going on there. Sort of nice, I don't know, like mellow, not spacey rock, but it's got a vibe to it, for sure. Like I feel like their album too, and this might just be from when I used to listen to it, but it just makes me think of surfing like at the beach in the winter. Like it's just got that, like the opening song is actually just called like Untitled, and it's just got these like sort of slidey, sweepy guitar riffs that sort of come in, and it's just very mellow and like ethereal sort of feel to it. So it just takes me back to like waves crashing at sunset.
That's a nice visual.
Thanks. I try my best. I'm trying to get better with the descriptors on these. Yeah, I was thinking about this. So hopefully the picture was good. All right. Do we have any Josh's Jazzy music moment bonus picks?
I do.
Anything this week?
I do. Not a specific not a specific song, because I don't think I've been disappointed yet. And I think we've brought them up on the podcast a time or two, but I don't think I've officially made them a Josh's Jazzy music moment pick. And
you gotta be careful when you say Josh's too quickly.
Yeah,
it just messes up the whole phrase.
Yeah, go slow. But my pick this week is Greta Van Fleet.
We've talked about them before, but there's never been a song yet.
I've never put them on the Josh's moment. So, and there's not one specific song. If you want to start somewhere, Black Smoke Rising is a really good song, and we've discussed it before. They have like kind of that Pink Floyd type feel, but they're a more modern band. I think, I don't even know how long they've been around, maybe since 2014. I'm trying to
think which song it is, but like one of the first songs you played for me by them was like literally like I thought it was Led Zeppelin or something, or some random like It just was like some lost take. Like, and it's funny how many people like including me that I've heard from them by or showed that song to or whatever, like literally are like, is this like Robert Plant? Because it's like, it is just that same vein of like Robert Plant or almost like Aerosmith, like Steven Tyler kind of. It's like that screechy kind of like vocals. Not like all their stuff sounds like that, but
you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right about that. And I think they get a little hate because of it. I think people are like, you're just knocking off Led Zeppelin, you're knocking off Pink Floyd or whatever. But
how many bands like fucking sound like that can actually sing like that right now?
And
or anything like that. That would be my comment about that.
And the kid that's the lead vocalist, like, he does it live too. So it's not like a gimmick. Yeah. Like, this kid can sing. So,
I mean, in an era of like overproduction and auto-tuning being such a big thing, like you can listen to like 10 seconds of one of those songs and know that he just has God-given talent to sing like that. That's not a it's not, you can't fix that with production. Well, I mean, I'm sure with AI and things nowadays there's some crazy shit you could do, but unless they're doing some crazy shit, which I kind of doubt, because that would be really difficult for them to tour if he actually couldn't sing also, which I think people don't think about that sometimes.
That's a very good point. Well said, Nick. Well said.
Yeah. So kudos to them. Keep doing what they're doing. Yeah. No,
they're doing a great job. I don't think, they don't need us to pump them up. I'm sure they're doing just fine.
But for any of the haters, just shut up.
Yeah. Give them a listen and just sit back and vibe. For a bit.
Oh man, I like that. Yeah. I like that pick. All right. You want to get into the main topic?
Let's do it.
All right, so not that it's an elephant in the room, but I think we probably do need to talk a little bit about the fact that you just had another child.
Yeah, well, if you can't tell.
And the reason you've been gone for a couple weeks.
Yeah. He's been gone for a couple weeks, and if you can't tell in the camera, all the bags and the dark circles under my eyes due to lack of sleep. Yeah, that baby's
the cobwebs.
The cobwebs everywhere. Yeah. It's spooky. It's Halloween down here.
Spooky.
No. Our daughter, Sawyer Lily Rogers, was born on February 8th, and it has been a great experience so far. I mean, I can't complain so far. It was this being the second child, obviously, it was a lot different, a lot more to like that we expected. There was a lot more understanding and knowing, all right, once this baby's here, what happens and how do you care for it? We kind of had that part of it down, but it was definitely a lot different of a situation of a birth and pregnancy and now the aftercare and stuff like that. It's been a lot different this time around.
Well, I have to imagine knowing when Mel was going to have a C-section and stuff too. Right. It's like you guys literally went in for like a sketch. Like I think you were saying to me, it's like almost getting a dentist appointment or something. Not quite. Yeah. There's no lie or whatever analogy you use, but like literally you just showed up and it's like, we're going to go here at this time. The surgery is going to be at this time. The baby's going to be out at this time.
Right.
We're going to recover for this amount of time. And then we're back home.
Yeah. No, like you said, Nick, and for the listeners out there. So we had a planned C-section this time around. My wife had a planned C-section this time around, whereas last time it was kind of a emergency C-section that happened. So this time it was a lot more leisurely. The day going into the hospital, it was a scheduled appointment. We had to be there 2 hours early. The C-section was scheduled for 12 or 12:30, so we had to get there at 10. And we just went about our day, dropped off Jeremiah at daycare, and had breakfast, hung out, and just went to the hospital.
Yeah, kind of like a seemingly normal day sort of deal.
Yeah, it was like a normal day, and then next thing you know, 4 or 5 hours later, like, there's a baby. Like, we're in the nursery room. Melissa's already out of surgery, recovering, and yeah, there's a new addition to our lives. So yeah, like you just said, it was strange because it was like a scheduled appointment. It's like if you're going in for a hip surgery or something like that, you're just walking in. Doctor's like, all right, go get on we're gonna bring you in now, get you on the table. Whereas last time it was labor for all this time and then the C-section. So yeah, it was much, much different. And I'd say a much better process this time, much less left to chance this time than last time, for sure.
Well, plus, I mean, Mel was in labor for a really long time before the emergency C-section too last time, right?
Oh yeah, it was like 26 hours of labor.
Oh geez, so it was like over it. Yeah, that's a lot.
6 hours, 5 hours of pushing before they said.
Yeah, which is wild.
Yeah. So this time, yeah, it was in and out, bang, bang. Like I said, go into the dentist, go in, get your tooth pulled. You're out of there. You're out of there.
Go in, got a new baby.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been that experience was definitely much different, and then even in the hospital, kind of knowing, all right, what the baby needs, because as a new parent, you're like, all right, why is this baby crying? And it's like this time, and we know. Baby wants to be warm. Baby wants to be fed. Baby wants a diaper change. That's it. If you could keep those three things under control, like that, you're good. So throughout the whole time at the hospital, the baby's not crying, like really chill. It's eating. She's eating when she's supposed to eat. Like, it was freaking super nice. Super nice. Even the nurses are coming in and like, do you know how to swaddle her? Do you know how to do this, do that? I'm like, yeah. This isn't my first rodeo. Like,
they should give you whatever that nurse. I remember seeing like the rate that they get. I mean, nurses are awesome. Like, I'm not trying to hate on nurses, but when you do see the rate that they get, where I remember at least one of the nurses we had was like, just came in and like, you're doing anything, like, oh, you're good, and it's like, how many $100 or an hour are you guys charging me for this? And it's like, yeah, I feel like even more so when you're an experienced parent, just kind of a interesting thing, because I'm sure like you guys pretty much had it handled, like
just manage
as far as the baby.
Nurse, you just manage my wife's pain, I'll take care of the rest with the baby. You just do your thing. So yeah, and I want to go back and put my foot in my mouth from the previous episode that I was on, where I said that, or maybe it was in my big announcement, where I said that the hospital beds for the dads were comfortable. The hospital bed is absolute trash. The pull-out couch at the hospital was garbage. My back was
it's been 5 years since your last experience there.
I think I got them fresh too. I think that was the issue the first time, is like they just finished that wing of the hospital and the bed was like, the couch was still nice and fluffy. It didn't have anybody else's farts in it. Like, it was good. But
didn't smell weird.
Exactly. But I got it this time.
It's sterile, but it smells weird.
I got it this time and it's all flat. Like, it's stiff as a board. One half of it is stiff and the other half is like too cushy. So you got to like find a nice balance of where you're going to sleep. And it was so like, that was horrendous. That part was horrendous. So I'm putting my foot in my mouth for that, because yeah, that was no good. I barely got any sleep. And it's not because the baby was up and about not sleeping, because she slept great. It was just because that bed was terrible, terrible, terrible.
I'm sure you guys too were getting sleep deprived by this point, or like after you went home. But the other thing too is like you weren't just completely dead to the world, tired probably as much as this time, because you guys just went in. Yeah. Like, I feel like I could have fallen asleep on almost anything when I was like, if I just was on the floor with a pillow, I probably could have passed out.
That's a good point. Yeah,
because you're just awake for like 2 days at that point, or like whatever. Effectively,
I had a great night's sleep the night before in my own bed, so and just got up and went to the doctor's office. So yeah, no, it was. Yeah, that's a good point. I definitely wasn't as exhausted as we were for Jeremiah, but yeah. So, and I did, I did make my way to the snack cabinets.
Yeah, they have anything good? How were they stacked up?
I texted you while I was there. I made what's called Josh's Hospital Trail Mix.
Yes.
So Josh's Hospital Trail Mix is you take a bowl of Raisin Bran, okay? You take some of the microwave popcorn. You got a little bit of Rice Krispies. They had some Rice Krispies too. You dump that all in a bowl. Then they had graham crackers. You throw a little bit of graham crackers in there, and then you just mix it all up. A little trail mix, a little hospital trail mix.
That doesn't sound too bad at all.
No, with a little ginger ale. Went down good.
How was the ginger ale situation?
Oh, it's like I said, hospital ginger ale is on a whole nother level. I don't understand why, but it's so good.
It's like special Canada Dry.
No, it's like Shasta. It's like the cheapest ginger ale, but for some reason it's so good there.
They had Canada Dry, I think, when I was there.
Oh, yeah. I
got the premium.
No wonder why.
That probably you just like flash back and it's just me like half asleep and I'm actually digging through like someone's lunch like in a fridge that's not supposed to be for the rest of the hospital. Like, sir, can you please? Yeah. You need to get out of there. I'm like, but this is the community. They told me to go to the nurses station and find whatever I wanted. I could take it. Yeah. They're like, that's my egg salad sandwich. You can't take that.
Oh, this isn't for everybody?
Oh, that's why it was in a lunchbox and sealed. I got it. Sorry.
No, you got the good insurance. That's the issue. You got the good insurance.
Yeah.
That entitles you to Canada Dry.
They put out the Canada Dry.
Oh, Mr. Sidler.
Got that BCBS.
Mr. Sidler, can we get you anything, sir? Pair of cozy slippers, perhaps?
Perhaps a bag of Cheez-Its.
Can we get you a nice bathrobe for your shower? But no, yeah. So the hospital experience was okay. Like I said, it was not. We just kind of wanted to get out of there as quickly as we could. I think the nurses definitely wanted us out of there as quickly as we could because there was just so many people having babies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, all the rooms were filled, so I think they wanted us out. And that the first couple days at home, I think because of that, for Melissa was tough. Just because I think she wasn't able to get up and move around as much as she wanted to while she was there. So I think she had some gas pains and stuff like that, and her body was still recovering from a surgery. So
yeah, I mean, it's a full surgery. I feel like people sometimes do just throw out C-section like it's an easy thing, but it's way more recovery time than having a normal birth.
Oh, right, exactly. But after the first couple weeks, it was a lot of Josh taking care of everybody in the house, me taking care of Melissa, me taking care of the baby, and me taking care of Jeremiah, and it was it was a lot for a little while there.
Trying not to lose your brain.
Yeah, I successfully did not lose my brain, but yeah, it was. Well, that's good. It was a lot, but yeah. So now we have this beautiful baby girl, and I know if you go back to maybe episode 1, talking about the folds, I don't know if I've figured it out yet how to take care of that properly, but I'm doing the best I can.
Don't be shy. You gotta get in the folds. Don't be afraid of it.
I'm doing the best I can over here, but no, it's been really good. And then the other big difference is this time, and it's just, I guess, shows to how much we as a culture have changed is the fact that Melissa gets that the FMLA that's offered by the state, so she doesn't have to worry about going back to work right away and losing pay or anything like that. So yeah, she gets paid for the 6 months that she's out, and it's just
Mass is super solid with all that. Even for dads getting the 4 weeks, right, is pretty cool. Yeah, and I think that changed pretty recently. I think from 2 to 4, within the past 5 or 6 years. I think for dads.
Yeah, I think we get. Well, I don't know how much we get paid through the state because I don't get that, but I think we we're entitled to 12 weeks as fathers. So it's
I think we have something it's 4 weeks, and then you can take as much of your sick time really as you can reasonably take within the next it's like within a 12-month period of the birth, so basically like a year.
Right.
I didn't actually end up doing that, but that's kind of cool.
Yeah. So it just takes a lot of the stress off, because now it's not like I gotta rush out of here, or Melissa has to worry about, I gotta get back to work. Now we gotta put this baby into daycare or something like that right away and find a place, and everywhere's backed up and all that stuff. So that part of it has been like super, super, like, what a blessing it is just to be able to just kind of chill and just focus on the family for these few weeks. Almost, today's 3 weeks, so she's 3 weeks old today. So yeah, for a little less than a month, it's been really nice so far.
I feel like too, I remember thinking back to when we had Ryland, but like 4 weeks seemed like it was going to be like forever, but I feel like it was like over in like a blink of an eye.
Like
you're all like, all of a sudden you're like, oh, it's time to go back.
Yeah.
Go back again.
That's because you're
just so busy.
Yeah.
And
you got to feed the baby every 2 hours. Got to change the diaper probably every 2 hours. So it's like your whole day is like just these 2-hour segments that you got to like do something. And then next thing you know, it's bedtime. But even at bedtime, the baby's going to be up every couple hours, 2-3 hours throughout the night. So it's like, yeah, it can definitely fly by. These 3 weeks have flown by. It feels like just a couple days ago that we left the hospital. Like, it's been insane.
Yeah, I remember that feeling too of like you just know like you're not going to sleep through the night, like it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, and then before you guys know it, she'll be sleeping through the night, and you'll be like, you'll wake up and you'll be like, oh my god, it's 7 o'clock or whatever, and like we didn't wake up all night.
We've gotten into a nice routine, and it's my favorite routine that we've gotten so far. Is Melissa, because she obviously has to feed the baby, she's breastfeeding, whatever. So she gets up and takes care of the baby through the night, and then at 7 o'clock, when I get up to get Jeremiah ready for school, I just take the baby and take her with me, take Jeremiah to school, feed her from the bottle, breast milk from the bottle, and then next thing you know, it's noon, and she got to sleep 5 hours or whatever uninterrupted, and that's like gold to her. So it's like worked out really nicely.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's a good idea.
Yeah, no, so that's been working out really good for us. And yeah, obviously all the doctor's appointments and all that stuff that comes along with it. You got the day after you get out of the hospital, you got to go to the doctor's, the 1 week appointment, the 2 week appointment, whatever it is. We got the 1 month appointment coming up in a couple weeks. So there's a lot. And like the thing that pisses me off the most is we had to go back to the doctors like 3 times for like a weight check. And these people, like these nurses or whatever that put this fear into these women that are breastfeeding their babies, they put this fear into them that they're not doing good enough, and like this baby's not gaining enough weight. Oh,
it's definitely a thing. I mean, Ash would allow me to speak freely about it, but that was something with Ryland did not gain weight as fast as we thought she was going to. So that was a pretty big source of anxiety for both of us.
Yeah,
for a bit, and you're like, yeah, it's not fun.
It becomes such a huge thing, and they're comparing these same children to bottle-fed kids, which you can feed a bottle-fed kid whatever 6 ounces of milk every 20 minutes if you want, because you don't have to worry about it being produced by the body or whatever. And
formula, the other thing too is formula is just more caloric than real breast milk is. Like, I think that's just sort of a fact, because I remember that at one point they were like, oh, like maybe try to mix it with formula, and like Ash was very much like, I'd really just want to breastfeed her. And then we swapped to formula like down, I don't know whether it was like not a year, but whatever down the line, and off of breast milk. But Ash was ready to just be done pumping by that point. And I just was like watching her pump all the time. And I'm like, it's that seems like a lot, to say the least. It is crazy. Like you were saying though, I remember we kind of, not like everybody was like that, but there's definitely a thing of like feed. And it's like, and like you said, they have I don't want to step into it, but like you were saying, they have a kid of yours really to compare the same statistics to, which her growth is probably going to be similar. Like, it doesn't mean necessarily 100%, but that's what eventually we were like, our son was the same way. He's a healthy
baby boy. Like he's a healthy 5-year-old now. Like he's doing great. Like, can you just relax for a little bit and not put all this fear into my wife that just got cut open like 3 days ago that she's not doing a good job and this baby is going to die because it's not eating? Like, can we not do that right now? So that pissed me off more than anything else, because it's like, dude, relax. The baby's fine. The baby's eating. Trust me. Believe me. This baby is eating.
It's eating.
Every single day. Every couple hours. It's up. It's ready to go. Like, don't worry about it. We're going to be good. But now she's above her birth weight again, so they've relaxed about that. But no wonder so many women just quit on the breastfeeding, because I can't imagine if you are the sole person that is responsible for feeding and keeping this child nourished, to then hear that, oh, by the way, I know you've been up every 2 hours for the last 3 days to feed this baby, but you're not doing good enough. You're already like irritable.
Yeah.
It's just I can't imagine what it would go through my head. I would probably punch somebody right in the face and be like, you know what, you do it then. You put this baby.
Yeah, exactly. But, yeah, that's a real thing. It's interesting that you brought that up, because we had pretty much a thing with that too. Yeah. And it still is, like, I mean, it's like we look like Ryland's fine now. Yeah. Like she's taller and like probably heavier or normal pretty much for her age. So she's totally good. But yeah, that was definitely a thing for a while. And then it's just not good, because it stresses you out, and then the kid's going to get stressed out because you're like, oh, should I be feeding them more? And like, you might be, with Ryland's case, she was just, I think, not hungry sometimes. And it'd just be like, we're trying to feed her and she's just not hungry. Right. Like, she knows how to eat. Like, that's kind of what my thing would always say. Like, she's not, I mean, I'm sure there's kids that struggle more than others, but like generally human beings, like you said, they come out, they want to be warm, they want food, and they don't want to be sitting in their own like feces and waste all day. Other than that, there's not too many. That's like literally the 3 core instinctual things that they like do for activity is like eating, sleeping, and like pooping. So yeah. I mean, it's one of those things, like, they're just going to do it when they're hungry, and sometimes they do it at their own pace. Right. I think it's interesting with that, too, because you guys already have a kid to compare to, so I'm surprised that they don't look at that stuff and be like, oh, like, here's Jeremiah's chart. Like, let's check this out. Yeah. Oh, she's tracking almost the same way. She's a little bit smaller. Okay, we're good. Yeah, and she's, like, super tall. That's frustrating. She's super tall for her, like, age right now. So that doesn't help either. Long baby. Because when you're the baby's longer, they want it to be heavier. But it's like, dude, just relax. And so for the 6 or 7 female listeners that we have, like, if you're having kids or had kids, probably have more than that, to be fair.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm just being facetious, but if you're having kids, had kids, whatever, you did breastfeeding, you didn't do breastfeeding, like, you're doing a great job. Just keep up the good work. You.
Either way,
if you want to keep going, keep going. If you don't want to do it anymore, don't do it anymore. But don't let these people push you around. You know.
Yeah, and don't feel pressured to. But I know even Ash would mention how there's like moms on social media and stuff, and you see, and that stuff can really be toxic in the same situation, because you see, like, this is what you should be doing, and it's like this is like someone that's on Instagram is just trying to get followers on their Instagram account. Like, and I'm not trying to sound totally hypocritical, because I post photos and stuff on Instagram and try to pseudo promote my YouTube videos and things like that, but it's different between someone that's doing like hour-long videos on taking care of your children every day. Like, that's, to me, that's a little bit more dangerous than like hiking videos, and potentially in the implications of you projecting this sort of like, I mean, honestly, just not a realistic, like, if you look like a super, I mean, I'm not saying there's not super put together moms, but like some of the videos like Ash would show me sometimes, like, that's not even, like, that's ridiculous. Like, this woman like did her makeup, like, who's sitting there with like a 2-month-old, like, trying to get done up and like do videos every day on how you should take care of your children. It's like, how long did you ignore your child to like get ready or whatever? I don't know.
At least an hour.
I don't want to get too far into it, but it's just, anyways, it's just, but it's kind of toxic. It's an interesting thing.
This will circle back to our first episode, since we're on the 1 year, we're almost at the 1 year mark, but
almost.
There's no like book that says this is how you have to raise your child. This is what you have to do to raise your child. Keep them fed, keep them warm, keep their diaper changed. You're good. Like, and I don't know if they
spend time with them.
Yeah, spend time with them, love them, all that stuff. But the cores, like when they're first born, like that's what the baby wants. The rest comes obviously naturally afterwards, but it's kind of crazy, and it's a little bit ridiculous, but I mean, I think we've belabored that point enough. You could tell I'm frustrated about that.
No, again, like I was really sympathizing because we went through exactly the same thing, and it's still pretty fresh in my mind. So,
but
so then how's it be? Yeah, I was gonna say, how's it being a girl? Any sort of different girl dad things so far? Or like,
oh, man.
I mean, she's so young. I feel like there's not gonna be. I don't know if there's a huge difference in anything. It'd be interesting hearing though, again, because I've never had a boy either. So
yeah, no, it's the really interesting thing is, like, I don't know, in the hospital when I first looked, like when her eyes were finally wide open, I looked into her eyes, I like kind of fell in love with this baby. I'm like, oh my God, that's my daughter. I love her. I mean, obviously I love my son or whatever, but it was something. I think it's because she has Melissa's eyes. So I'm there was some beauty there that I was already into. And I'm like, oh yeah. This is my seed. What a cute baby. But yeah,
it's funny how you notice those things immediately.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. But now the other crazy thing is how much she just looks like Jeremiah, like when he was a baby. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I'll look at her and I'm like, I'll have like flashbacks, or if I'm tired, I'll be like, where am I? Like, why am I holding Jeremiah like this?
I was already here before.
Yeah, I've been on this ride already. I don't want to do it all over again.
Well, even I think I texted you. I'm like, damn, your genes are coming through strong though. She looks like Mel too a little bit, but it reminded me of like when you had Jeremiah, and I'm like, wow, he looks a lot like you. Yeah. And he's like still a smushy little baby, and there's clear things going on there.
The Rogers genes are strong. But I got through I got through the first bath time. Well, we've done a few baths by now. I didn't over soap. I took a page out of your book. She wasn't too slippery, just slippery enough.
Johnson & Johnson's? What are you guys using over there?
A little Dove sensitive. Oh yeah, sensitive baby. Fancy.
It's a step up. Step up.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's really, like I said, it's been great. Much different experience. Much, I guess, better experience in that way. But yeah, and Jeremiah's flourishing as a big brother.
Yeah, he seems like he's really enjoying it so far.
Yeah, he loves it. My favorite part is, like, now I just give him so much responsibility all the time. And he's just like, now I can get him to do chores, and it's like the best. I'm like, Jeremiah, put away your laundry. He puts away his laundry. He does the dishes. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, I can get used to this.
That's interesting. So he's just been more receptive to that stuff since you had her.
Yeah, I'm like, listen,
why do you think that is?
I think he's the second man of the house. Like, he's the big brother.
He's like. He got bumped up. Yeah, I'm surprised.
Yeah, he's the big brother.
Not surprised, but
and he's not. He knows he's got to protect his sister. He's got to help. He's got to help his mother. Like, he's taking on that responsibility and saying, okay, like, if I ask him to do something, he just does it, and like, no complaining about it. And I'm like, yeah, I can get used to this. I really like this.
Next Halloween, you need to tell him that he needs to go back to that house that had the blood pouring out of the skeleton.
Oh, we were walking by there the other day.
Like, your sister needs you to do this. Be brave.
We were walking by there the other day. We went for a walk with the baby, actually, and we were walking by that house, and I was like, "Hey, do you remember that house?" He was like, "Yeah, that's the one with the skeleton was throwing up the fruit punch. It was coming out of his nose." And I was like, "You want to go over there?" He's like, "No."
Scarred for life.
Yeah, he very well may be. He very well may be.
It's just fruit punch.
It was just fruit punch. But yeah, so, and you know what else was funny was how your daughter got really jealous when Ashley was holding that baby.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's funny you mentioned that, because we've been going through just the past week. It's been kind of getting like clingy to Ashley, but like more. I mean, obviously she's like clingy to her parents, and I don't mean to like downplay. Like, she's young till she's just about a year and a half. She'll be a year and a half on like the 6th of March. But yeah, it's like we noticed she's kind of coming back down to earth a little bit, but she did not like seeing. No. It's funny. So listeners, so I visited Josh last week with Ash and Rylan, And Rylan, we were all just kind of playing, like me, you, and Jeremiah, pretty much, and Rylan, like just running around and doing stuff eventually after dinner. And then I think Rylan didn't realize that Ash was, I think she just thought she was talking to Mel and didn't realize she was holding the baby and feeding her. And like Rylan came around that corner of your sectional and saw the baby, and it was like, oh man, like she had a look.
Yeah,
she had a look. She's like, what is my mommy doing with that baby and holding that baby right now? And immediately she like climbed into like my lap and was like then trying to get near Ash because I was sitting down, and it was just funny how it escalated quickly.
Yeah.
And then she was like, she's kind of like getting real. Then she was like basically laying right next to the baby and like kind of nuzzling in. And then eventually like she just sat in Ash's lap. And I'm like, she like never does that at home. Like she'll never just like chill. She'll chill out when sit in your lap when she's tired, but she's not one to like normally do that.
Yeah. I'll be honest.
Yeah, it was funny.
I thought Jeremiah was going to be a jealous like sibling when Sawyer was born. But like I said, he's just kind of taken on this like protective older brother role that I hoped that he would have. So it's refreshing to see that, and just to know that like, okay, we're not going to have that issue. Like he understands. It might have been different, I think, if it was another boy, because now there's two boys.
He'd feel like competitive,
right?
Oh, they would have been. Yeah, because you and Mel, I was going to say maybe they wouldn't be competitive. Then I was like, oh, who am I? I'm like, you and Mel aren't competitive at all.
Yeah.
You're very complacent people, not competitive.
Right. Yeah, so I don't know if that's the case. It'd be interesting to see, but yeah, I think because he always said too, he always said, oh, I want a sister because I'm already the brother. I don't want a brother. I want a sister. So it's I wish in an alternate universe we could see what it'd be like if we had another boy and how he would react. But right now, he's an absolute trooper. Absolute trooper.
That's awesome, man. I also feel like the age gap probably helps a little bit too. So I feel like he's kind of in that pseudo self-sufficient stage of his life, and he likes to just do things by himself now. Yeah. I think if he was like 3 and she was born, I feel like it'd probably be a lot different too.
Yeah. No, sometimes he even doesn't even want, like, I'll try and go and play with him. He's like, no, I just kind of want to play alone right now. And I'm like, all right, you got your own thing going. No problem, dude.
And like, whoa. Okay. Right. Eventually you're going to be like, what about me? Eventually you're going to be like, what about me? Yeah. What about Dad?
I know.
You're just sitting there in the corner.
I know.
What about Dad? Remember Dad?
Yeah, man. But no, it's been great. There's been a lot of great support from friends like you and family members, and my church too. They put us on they call it a meal train, and a few members of the church came by and actually dropped us off dinner for like 3 or 4, maybe 5 nights. So yeah, that was really awesome. It was a big load off our plates, not having to worry about cooking food or whatever, and just being able to kind of enjoy the time with one another and taking care of this baby. So, and yeah, obviously you guys came by, but I cooked for you, so yeah, I'll cook for you anytime.
Well, we bought you a pizza.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, trying to sabotage my weight loss challenge.
Yeah.
The pizza.
You can also thank Ash for not. She wasn't gonna say that we got you guys a pizza, and I'm like, you should tell them so that they have an idea that we got them dinner. And she's like, oh yeah, and I'm like, also, how are they gonna know that we got them a pizza? So they could have been anybody.
For the listeners, so I think what was it, the first or second night at home? I'm starting to cook dinner. I'm basically just finishing up dinner, and Ashley texts me and says, by the way, there's a pizza coming to your house. It's from us. Don't be alarmed. Or something like that. And I'm like, oh, I just finished cooking dinner. And then like 2 seconds later, somebody rings the doorbell with a pizza. And I'm like, oh, the pizza's here. It was good, though, because it ended up being lunch for like the next like couple of days. So thank you guys very much for the pizza.
Of course.
Yeah, but how's it feel being a godfather? Is this your first godchild?
It is my first godchild. Yeah. Feels good.
Do you take
get to hold her? She's pretty
pride?
Cute.
You take big pride in this?
I did. She's pretty cute.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. 1 of 4.
She can't do much
You're
yet,
1 of 4.
She'll get there. Yeah. 25%.
Yeah. 25.
Noted.
25% godparent. Oh my goodness.
Just saying, 25%.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good percentage. Oh, your mom sent us a nice card. I got to text her.
Oh, good.
I think I have her number. I got to shoot her a text. That was very kind of her. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's been so far so good. We'll see as the weeks go on. But
cool.
Anything you want to add?
Congratulations again. Not particularly. Yeah, I was gonna mention that about Rylan being jealous, but that was just funny this week. But no, I think that's it, man. Yeah, congrats again.
Yeah, thank you.
And I'm sure you'll have double the kids' stories now to share, so that's cool.
Yeah. Once the funny stuff starts happening. I've been pooped on a couple times. It's very different too with the pee because it just goes straight down, so I don't got to worry about getting sprayed in the face with pee like with Jeremiah.
Yeah, I've heard that's a thing with boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not really. With girls, they just all of a sudden you're like, hey, it's soaked.
Yeah. That was actually for anyone that is having a daughter for the first time. Like the diapers they have the yellow lines on them that turn blue when they're wet. So for the first like couple diapers, like I couldn't tell if she was wet because I was looking at the yellow line in the front. But for girls, because when they're laying on their back, the pee just goes down. So at first. Yeah,
reiterate what I said about it going everywhere.
Yeah. The line on the back turned blue. So that was something I didn't know. So if there is anybody having a girl out there, surely. Like,
pro tip.
That's a good tip. Pro tip.
That's not a tip. That's honestly not even something I really noticed at the hospital, but I think it's just because we checked just the whole diaper. But
yeah, I never checked the whole diaper because I never needed to. But yeah, that's about it, man.
All right, you want to get into the descent here?
Let's do it.
All right, so I just finished Ahsoka, which was like, did you actually watch Ahsoka?
No, I gave up after the first couple episodes.
It wasn't that great. Yeah. It was really off the wall. It was like space whales and thing. It just started.
Space whales?
No, I'm not. Yeah, like hyperspace whales, and like there was some cool things from it, and then like it really just seemed like how did they write the story like this? Yeah. Like it wasn't god awful, but it was just like. I don't know. It just was poor, especially compared to. I think Andor is next on my list. I was thinking of that because you were like, it's like my favorite.
My favorite.
But I think that's what I'm going to dive into next.
They haven't done a good one since then.
Ahsoka definitely wasn't that great. No. So I was like 6 episodes in. I'm like, I'm so close. I'm just going to finish it. Like whatever.
I gave up on all that. I'm all done. I actually canceled my Disney Plus subscription. I'm all set.
Yeah, we were lucky. Rylan got that as a Christmas present from one of Ash's sisters. We have the ad tier of Disney Plus, but that's nice. Otherwise I probably wouldn't have just gotten it by myself, or I would have waited for a deal.
Yeah. No good though?
No. Yeah, I didn't enjoy it that much.
No.
So how's your watch through of The Godfather going? Or not? Wow, The Godfather, The Sopranos.
Yeah, we're almost done. We got
I know you were chatting that up before you left.
Yeah, so. We got a season and a half. Left. I can see why.
Wow,
it is a very, very intriguing, very good show. I'm enjoying it a lot. It's a lot more intellectual than I thought it was going to be, just because you think mobsters, you think whatever. It's going to the story that's been told a million times. They're killing people left and right and doing all this
whacking
stuff.
guys. Yeah.
Getting protection money and all that stuff, but no, him in the therapy sessions and all the different things that are happening around there it's very good. So we're almost done, and then we got to start thinking about what's next to watch after that. But
I can't wait till you get to the ending to get your take on the ending and whether you guys like it or not.
Yeah, I know what the ending is, but I would like to see it build to that point to see, okay, what's happening, why is it like this, but we'll see. I'll see.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I figured you should have known the ending, because I feel like it was a pretty notable thing what happened. Yeah, everybody knows the ending, because a lot of people were like freaking out when it ended.
Yeah,
cool.
I'm actually really looking forward to we're almost at March Madness season.
Yes, we are.
We're almost at March
when does it actually start? Third week of March?
March 21st, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to get brackets going and stuff again.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
That'll be coming up. I'm pretty excited too. I don't know, the next part of Dune is coming out, or I should say the remake of Dune
2
of the book and stuff. Yeah, the second part. So
did you see?
I'm
Dune
curious
1?
to see. I did. Yeah, the first one I've seen, like, because this is like the third film or like TV adaptation of the book, and I've read all the books pretty much. So, or I did it it was a while ago at this point, but I read them when I was a teenager in early 20s. So I'm pretty familiar with the story. I'm curious to see too, like, I bet you it's probably, I didn't want to look yet, but I'm guessing it's probably a trilogy because I just want to watch the movie and like see what's up. But that's the one thing I don't like nowadays is I feel like everything turns into a trilogy.
Everything's a trilogy, dude.
It's like just try to make it into like a 3-hour movie or 3.5-hour movie. Like, I'd rather have that than, like, I know it's less lucrative, but it's frustrating sometimes. There's things they made trilogies that shouldn't be trilogies. Or like, isn't Avatar supposed to be a trilogy now? Like the second and third one that came out. Apparently the second one was like apparently like awful. Like, it hemorrhaged money. Like, it did awful. It's part of the reason Disney stock just keeps plummeting.
I think it was always supposed to be a trilogy, and it just took forever to get the second one out.
Gotcha. Yeah. All that CGI.
Yeah.
You get to know on some set was probably like, can we just like make costumes and like just film people in the costumes?
Yeah.
Seems like that would be cheaper.
No, the first, I wasn't even that, like, I know everybody was visually captivated by the first one.
Yeah.
It was fine. It was an okay movie.
The story wasn't like ridiculous or anything.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, I was impressed by it because I think it was like one of those first ones that was in 3D and stuff. But I kind of remember thinking the same thing. I'm like, it was like an okay, like, premise. Like,
I get it. I get the
it kind of stole like things from like The Matrix and like other things like that and ideas
Fern
like
Gully.
that. So it was nothing new. Yeah, in Fern Gully. It was like if Fern Gully was like animated with like $1 billion worth of CGI. This is what it would have looked like.
So that's our hot take.
Someone at a pitch meeting. It's kind of like Fern Gully, but we're using a lot more CGI.
Yeah.
It's
what if
there's no
now listen, hold on for a second. What if Fern Gully and the Smurfs met up? Boom. Avatar. Instead of Gargamel running around, it's a guy in a robotic suit.
It looks like a Mech Warrior from one of the Mech Warrior games on PlayStation in the 1990s.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, not into those movies. I am into the new. Yeah. Have you seen the new live action Avatar: The Last Airbender?
No, I haven't, but I've heard about that, and I'm glad. I actually made a mental note to ask you about that because I'm like, Josh probably is going to be into this.
We're going to save that because I'm
anime and now it's live action animated.
Yeah, we're going to get a friend of the podcast, Wilkie, on, and we're gonna break that down. Either him or a friend of the podcast, Adam, because I really want to break that down. Did you watch the animated?
Was it a movie or was it a series? No, I never watched any of it.
No, it's a series.
Full disclosure.
Yeah, it's a series.
Okay.
But yeah, you have time. You're gonna have time to be able to watch both. You can watch the series and then watch the live action.
All right.
So then you can break it down. You got some homework to do.
Noted.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna save that because actually I think friend of the podcast Wilkie just texted me about it. So I'm gonna try to convince him to get on here, and we're gonna hammer this out.
We're gonna peer pressure him. PUDs pressure him.
Didn't you guys do a hike recently? You can talk about that too.
A couple weeks ago now, but yeah, we get out. Video on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm gonna get him
Mount
on.
Pierce.
I'm gonna convince him. I'm definitely gonna peer pressure him on here.
Yeah, we got stuff to talk about.
Yeah,
it's just being like, you don't be afraid, Wilkie. It's okay.
Don't be so emotional about it.
No, he's good. Don't be so emotional. No, I think he's got a good voice for a podcast too. He's got a nice sultry voice.
He'll be fine. Oh,
sorry for calling you out again, Wilkie. I feel like it's like every other podcast.
No, we're just waiting for him. Just waiting for him to get on here.
Yeah, just waiting. Waiting for him to answer the call.
An update on Josh's weight loss challenge. I am down 5 pounds. So,
excellent, dude. Excellent.
In about a month. 5 pounds in about a month. So we're heading in the right direction.
Gonna keep sending me sweaty pictures of yourself?
Those are for your private viewing only. You're not supposed to talk about it.
Oh, was I not supposed to talk about this?
No. Yeah, no.
We sent
it doesn't count.
We sent sweat, and then I sent you a sweaty pictures though.
It doesn't count if you didn't take a gym pic, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Even though the gym is my basement / recording studio.
Yeah. / Cobweb Haven.
Yeah. But yeah, 5 pounds down, guys. So I'm going to keep it up. Anything else?
All right, man. I don't think so, man. I think this was a good, it seems you did not lose your podcasting swagger.
Listen.
So that's good.
I am all swagger all the time.
Yeah.
Nothing to be lost here. It's just in my DNA.
Yeah, but I think that's it, man.
All right, my man. Well, until next time, bippity boppity, give me the zoppity.
Bye. PUDs Podcast was produced and recorded in Black Cat Studios by the Pud Boys. Find us on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving us a review and subscribing. Find us on social media, and we'll see you next time.